there's no really way to understand it until somebody actually explains what happens.
It's a brain disease that, in combination with the environment, can really cause people to use these drugs and increase their vulnerability to developing addiction.
Once you start using the drugs, the addiction becomes a self-perpetuating problem, and it becomes a problem unto its own.
Because whatever we do as an individual, we all have things we're passionate about, and we engage in that result in pleasure, whether it's sports, art, culture, activities, and we things that require skill and effort in life often result in a natural drug such as dopamine or serotonin being produced in our brain that results in a smile or a good feeling. But drugs, whether it's alcohol, cannabis, pills, ecstasy, whatever it is, hijacks that and kind of just a small amount of that drug, which requires no skill and effort, results in a very high reward, and the brain remembers it.
And there are certain reward centers in the brain that become hyperactive, and they emphasize sort of short-term reward over long-term reward, and it becomes almost impossible to escape the vicious cycle of it's both physical and psychological. But they sort of make you very selfish, and they make you very short-sighted, and you feel really sick when you're withdrawing. So you take bigger and bigger risks, but your reward system is such that you just can't help it. That's all you think about. You become obsessed with the drug, and you just don't want to feel sick. You just want to feel better. It starts out, you feel really good when you take the drug, but toward the end, you feel really awful if you don't take the drug, and you're just taking the drug to feel normal. And all of your brain functioning has been hijacked to orient you to obtaining and taking drugs, and you sort of de-emphasize the normal things that give us pleasure, like sex, human relationships, a good meal, being in nature, a nice walk. All those things get less important relative to the drug because the drug is what is activating your reward center.
And that is probably one of the most important things to explain to a person who doesn't understand addiction, is that it starts relatively innocent in the brain, liking a natural high that requires no skill and no effort, and it leads to repeated use and dependency on reaching out for that drug whenever you want to feel a certain way, and you lose interest in the things that once made you happy.